3 daily questions for Bible readers. 1. Why do we say Genesis is a book of life, not just a record of historical events? The first 2 chapters of Genesis are not primarily a record of creation, but a revelation of life. It appears to be a record of creation, but this is a superficial understanding. The underlying thought is focused on life, making these chapters a revelation of life. The account is too simple and brief to be an adequate record of creation. The narrative shows a progression of life, the Spirit of God brooding to produce life, light for producing life, the separation of waters of death, the emergence of land to generate life, the production of plant, animal, and human life, the divine life, symbolized by the tree of life. 2. How does Genesis present the biographies of 8 persons? Chapters 3 to 50. The biographies of 8 individuals, Adam, Abel, Enoch, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph, are not about their works, but about their life and walk with God. The focus is on how they lived and their relationship with God, not on their accomplishments. The Bible records little of what these men did. Adam, the record only states how long he lived, 930 years, and how he walked with God. Enoch, he is described as walking with God and being taken by him. Noah, his work was done according to God's revelation and for God's purpose, not for himself. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's difficult to see that they did good works. Joseph, his work is considered the reigning part of Jacob's life, fulfilling God's purpose. 3. How can we see the way to fulfill God's purpose in Genesis? Genesis is fundamentally a book of life, not a book of creation or biographies. God uses the record of creation and the biographies to show his need for a life, specifically Christ's life, to fulfill his purpose. The ultimate goal is for God to have a people like Jacob, who became Israel, the Prince of God. This is entirely a matter of life, and this life is Christ. The central thought in Genesis is that Christ is the hope and salvation of fallen man, and through him, God will enable humanity to fulfill his purpose. Genesis is centered on Christ as life for the people he restores.